Hello listener, welcome to the Creepypasta channel. In today's tale, the mysterious CS player. It was around the year 2006 when I was addicted to Counter-Strike, a famous computer game. I played every day, studied in the morning at that time, so I started playing in the afternoon, often entering the early hours of the morning. Playing during this time, I met many people, some became good friends, and we talked a lot on MSN. One night in CS, a new player joined. He didn't speak, but he played very well. His nickname was Fire666, but everyone called him Fire, because it's easier. The days went by, and every day the same player entered. Everyone on the server talked, but he remained silent, not making jokes, not cursing anyone, and not starting conversations. He only answered when asked something, always through text. He never said anything on the microphone. One day, everyone was leaving the server until it was just me and Fire. Since I didn't want to play anymore, I got his MSN to chat. He wasn't much different on MSN and also spoke very little. Weeks went by, and gradually I started talking more and more with him. I soon began to consider him a good friend. He spoke more to me than to others. In CS, he remained silent, but on MSN, he talked to me, although I always had to take the initiative. Once, another player everyone knew, Carlson X17, started cursing Fire, saying he used some kind of hacker. Fire ignored Carlson, who got mad at him. Light didn't say anything, just kept killing him several times in a row. Until one time, Carlson had to leave and said goodbye to everyone. At that moment, Fire sent the message, "You are already dead." Carlson cursed Fire a lot before leaving, but nothing came of it. After a few days, people noticed that Carlson stopped entering the game and also didn't appear on MSN. They soon started joking that Fire had actually killed him. It was a joke that everyone laughed at, but Fire still remained silent. When I talked to him on MSN about Carlson disappearing, he didn't pursue the subject. Until about a month and a half later, Carlson entered the server. Everyone started joking that he had come back from the dead, but the strangest thing was that he didn't say anything. He just started playing silently, not even talking in the text chat. On MSN, he was online but didn't respond to questions, and everyone started to find it strange. A week later, during a late-night match, he finally spoke. While everyone was playing, he said over the microphone, "I just wanted to apologize for what I said that day, Fire." And it got even stranger when he disappeared again. He didn't connect to the game or MSN anymore. From time to time, we talked about him and someone asked something to Fire, but he only answered, "I don't know," or something like that. 3 months after that, Fire told me something that made me very happy. His mother had received a job offer, and in 2 months, he would move to my city. At first, his mother didn't know where in the city they would move, but as it got closer, he told me the name of the place. It was an upscale yet eerie neighborhood. The few times I passed by that place, I never saw people walking on the street. Rumors said that some residents worked from home or were very wealthy businessmen who lived abroad. When he moved, I arranged to visit him the following week. He arrived on a Thursday, and on Saturday afternoon, I went to his house. When I arrived, it was a gigantic block of apartments. There was no one at the entrance. I rang the intercom and waited a bit. Then I heard the sound of the hook being removed, but no one said anything. So I said Fire, and I heard his voice for the first time saying, "You can come up." The gate opened and I went up. It was the 6th floor. When the elevator opened, I walked looking at the door numbers until I realized that his was at the end of the corridor, after the 5th door. Upon arriving, I noticed that the door was open, just leaning, probably left that way for when I arrived. Even so, I knocked on the door, waited a bit, and heard a voice say, "Come in, I was waiting for you." I pushed the door leading to the living room and found it very strange that it was completely empty. I knew they were moving, but normally there would be a lot of furniture in boxes or messy, not a completely empty room. I entered the room and called it fire, but no one came. I was a little nervous about it because I didn't want to search his house, so I called a few more times until I decided to wait. After 1 or 2 minutes, I called again a few more times and went to the back of the place. I found it strange when I looked at the first room and there was no furniture at all, just like the kitchen and the other room. I was already getting nervous at this point and didn't like the joke. When I got to the last room, the door was closed and I opened it and was startled when I saw a boy with his back to the wall. I immediately asked to fire, and he said the creepiest thing I've ever heard in my life, which was, "Fire is the name you guys call me on the internet, but here I prefer you to call me by the name everyone calls me, which is Satan." I almost screamed when he said that. It was so creepy. Then I saw him start to turn towards me, but I didn't get to see his face. I ran out of the apartment. In the hallway I could still hear footsteps behind me. The elevator was closed, so I went down the stairs. I left that building and, when I got home, I deleted him from MSN and didn't play CS for a long time. I never told my friends from the server about this because I was embarrassed, but it was disturbing. Nowadays, I think about what that was and what kind of sick joke that player was trying to make. I never went near the building again, and I don't intend to, but it was definitely scary. Thank you for your presence, listener. This is a supposedly fictional story. I hope you enjoyed it and see you soon, if fate allows.